Do you love waking up early in the morning, struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow. Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. So, tonight's topic is going to be about goals and how you set them for you. Nobody else can set them but you. So, I want to start off tonight by saying that I appreciate everybody that was here last weekend, and I'll thank the newcomers that are coming in this week. I appreciate it. I am new to this, but it is a journey for me and for you as well. So, tonight is goals. The goals are about you, they are for you and only you. Nobody can tell you how to set your goals but you. Some goals can be as small as, owning a car one day. Some goals can be as big as buying a house and moving your family. It's up to you and how you want to do it. Nobody can tell you that you're wrong. Or setting your goals. Um, a subtopic for goals can be like, setting a vision board. Well, not setting, but making a vision board. With that, you can have pictures of things like cars, houses, kids, animals. It all depends on how you want your vision board to look. It depends on how you want to set it up because this is your vision for you. Um, as time goes on, things will change, and that's okay because you are not going to be the same person that you were 5 minutes ago. You will not be the same person that you are now an hour ago. So it's all up to you and how you want your vision to be. My first time making a vision board, I made a plan to, move my family out of the neighborhood that we're in, and that's still a goal. Um, some other things I've planned to do were like having more family time, spending more time with my family, both the one I created and the one I came from. It's up to you and what you plan to do. Um, Something else I want to talk about is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big topic because it will do a lot of, it can do more good than harm in certain cases. I say that because, depending on why you need to forgive somebody or somebody need to forgive you, it is better to forgive and work past it instead of forgive and forget, because you can forgive a person all day long, but you would never forget the things that they have done to hurt you in any way. um I say move on because it will be better for you to learn how to move past the hurt and to work on building up that relationship again instead of just dwelling in the past. Um, One of my biggest goals is to move past the hurt that I have been through, move past the hurt that I've put people through. And the only way to do that is to communicate. And communicate is a big thing, and it's also goes into the topic of goals, because you cannot have goals if you do not communicate, not only with whoever you're setting these goals with, in a sense, but also yourself. If you are setting goals and you do not have a set plan or a set timeline, you are failing you. Nobody can save you but you. Nobody can help you but you, because only you know the goals that you have set for yourself. And if you don't share your goals with anybody else because of, uh, you might feel like, they'll talk down on you or they'll discourage you in some way, you know, that's okay. That's fine. It'll work out in the end with or without them. And you'll see in the end that it was better to keep it to yourself than to share your goals with somebody else. And most of my goals required, or at least in my mind, it had the thought of having friends, and the same friends I've had since middle school, the same friends I've had since high school. And I don't. And that's okay, because again, plans plans and goals change. It's okay. I am dealing with it. I'm learning to grow and push through not having that support system of friends, because I have that support system in family. I do have friends, but not the ones that I wanted to be there, and it's okay. And that not everybody has your best interests at heart, and you'll see that. It's okay. Let them go and move on. You can forgive them all day, they can forgive you all day, but if you continuously stay on that path of hurting one another, whether it's the way you talk to each other or the way you interact with each other, that's not good. Let them go. Same thing with family. If you feel as though family is not supporting you the way you would like, let them go. And in the end, again, you will see that letting them go did you more good than harm. It's okay. Take a deep breath, breathe. You got this. Just know your boundaries and set them. That's with anybody, family, friends, relationships, um, even down to children. You have to set boundaries for yourself because if you do not respect those boundaries, nobody else will. If you do not work towards your goals, nobody else can help you, nobody can save you. If you are a procrastinator, and this is coming from me because I am a big procrastinator, you have to, even if it's little by little, you have to make a plan and stick to it. You have to make a schedule and stick to it. Because if you do not, you will fall into a lot of last minute ideas and you will do a lot of rambling and it will not, your point will not come across as well as you want it to. Um, Something else that I want to say is, as far as your goals and forgiveness, as far as they meet, I'm gonna say, if you reach a goal but you do not feel accomplished, it's okay to start over. It's okay to have your pity party for that moment, but do not stay there. Do not be stuck. You have to move forward. Excuse me. Excuse me. Um, it is a lot to take in for starting out. It is. But you have to grow it. You have to push. You have to keep your goals in mind. If you cannot, if you do not feel that you are able and willing to yourself, it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to have a small circle that you can depend on and is like, hey, I need help brainstorming, or hey, I need some ideas. Can I bounce some things off of you? And if you are looked at as negative or you're always needy in a sense or in general, honestly, you do because all they're going to do is take your ideas, flip them, turn them into their own, and use it. And then that to other people who knew nothing about your conversation. You're stuck looking like a basic everyday person. You have things like makeup, there are lingerie lines, clothing lines, and everybody has their idea of what their company looks like in their mind. Everybody has their own idea of what their company looks like. And yeah, some people take and pick apart other people's businesses and ideas and use them as their own. But it's something else when you are coming up with a business plan with a group of people and somebody from that group takes your exact ideas word for word and use them for themselves. You will be hurt. You will feel feel discouraged a lot. And, it's not fun. It's not. It's one thing where you can say, oh, I did this. I came up with the idea for this makeup line. And, I pitched it to a team and I was given a lot of good feedback. And then somebody took my exact idea and flipped it, changed the name, and made it their own. Again, you'll be stuck with doubt, you'll be stuck with discouragement, and you'll be stuck with a lot of questions of why. Why me? Why did I pitch my idea? Why did they still in a pity party? You want to have people around you who will support you, that will, encourage you to push no matter what happens. You want to have a group of people that will believe in your dream just as much as you do. And it can be as small as starting a business, it can be as big as owning a bunch of land and, starting a bunch of small projects on that land. It's up to you and what you want your dreams and goals to be. Nobody can tell you that you are wrong. Nobody can tell you that you shouldn't dream as big as the letter Z. You know, you should always have a backup plan for your backup plan. Okay, if step one didn't work, what can I do for step two? Or step one and two didn't work, how can I get to step three by, using things that went well in step one, the things that went well in step two? How can I put them together and make step three? If step three don't work after that, keep going, keep pushing. Do not give up. And I can say that from experience because I wanted to give up a lot. I actually just gave up on myself just recently with school. I wanted to go back to school to be a pastry chef. And I gave up on myself in that. And it was a lot of doubt, it was a lot of questions and discouragement. And now I'm like, I have to put on my big girl pants and I can do this. I have to pat myself on the back for the progress that I've made so far, and I have to get back into it. I cannot delay. I cannot procrastinate. I have to push. I have to do what's right. I have to do what's best for me. And if pastry art is what I am interested in at the moment, or I am interested in at all, then I need to push. I need to give it my all 110%. Um, you know, it's like learning how to ride a bike for the first time. You fall and you scrape your knee. Yeah, you're going to cry because it hurts, but you have to get back up and you have to keep trying because at some point you will achieve that goal of learning how to ride a bike. Same thing with swimming. You know, you get water in your face or in your ear, fine. But you have to keep trying, you have to keep pushing. Do not give up. You have to understand that even the big bosses like Rihanna and, you know, Kanye West and even Barack and Michelle Obama, they've all had hard points at some point in their life. And because they didn't give up and they kept pushing, they've reached the goals and dreams that they've had. They've reached, or even still reaching, for the goals that they've always wanted to achieve. And nobody can tell you otherwise but you. Nobody can give you the goals that you want to set but you. They can give it to you after you give them ideas, but nobody can tell you how your goals should be. Nobody can tell you how you should live your life but you. And again, if somebody tells you otherwise, they don't have the best interest at heart for you. And it shows, because a supporter will not tell you you're wrong for how you feel. A supporter, family, friend, associate, whoever, they will not tell you that they support you, but talk down and talk negative about you, whether it's in front of your face or behind your back. You have to stick up for you and what you believe in and what you want to do, because that's you. That is your choice. It's how you're going to live your life. And you have to deal with the consequences. Nobody else, just you. And that's it. Nobody can tell you how to push yourself but you. You can give people ideas all day long on what you need their help with, or, how you want to move, but nobody can tell you how to move but you. Your brain tells your feet when to move. And in order for that, you have to have an idea that requires you to move. You have to have a thought process that travels through your body to tell you to move. Because without it, you wouldn't wake up and move throughout the day. You have things that you want to accomplish, and you wake up and you push for it every day. Even if you don't want to, you get up and you do it anyway. It happens. It's a part of life, and it's how we function, But even when people suffer with depression, they reach a point at some point in life where they decide that they cannot take it anymore. You have to make that conscious decision. And hi, Shania. And, if you make that conscious decision that you cannot take it and you want to end it all, that's your choice. Everybody can tell you every day, all day, that, this is not the way, this is something that you shouldn't want to do. You have children, but everybody deals with pain and stress and suffering differently. Everybody deals with heartache differently. Everybody deals with everyday life differently. And again, you can have all the opinions in the world, but to that one person, your opinion does not matter, because it's not what they want to hear. Your goals is your opinions, your dreams. Nobody can tell you what to do at the end. Nobody but you. And even if you tell yourself otherwise, if it's something that you really want to do, you'll do it. It is. It's easier said than done. If you want to start a business, if you want to, go into construction, if you want to become a truck driver, if that's something you really want to do and those are goals that you have for yourself, you will find a way to do it. You will. 110%. Whether it's going to school for it, it's, doing research on your own and finding outside sources that have went through what you are trying to go through, you'll find it. You will find all the help that you need somehow, whether it's personal, people that you know that have gone into those businesses or that have started those type of businesses, you will find somebody to connect with. And connection is a big, big thing. You will find connects everywhere for everything. And you will not think twice about it, because once you make those connects and you ask those questions and you get your foot in the door, there will be no turning back. Even if you decide to give up, you will find every reason to keep pushing. You will find every reason to motivate yourself. If nothing else, you will motivate yourself to keep going, because you would want a better life. You want, a bigger move, or you want to move your family out of the situation that you're currently in. You want something bigger and better for you. Yes, it has other people attached to it, but ultimately it's for you. And you have to do what's best for you. Nobody else can tell you differently. And I'm going to keep repeating that, and you're going to get sick of it. But it's the truth. Nobody can tell you what to do for you but you. And that's it. You have to find a reason to push. For me, now, even though I want to give up every day, every day, I want to give up. But my reason for pushing is my son. My reason for pushing is my family that I hold close to me. But before anybody else, my son comes first. He does. Before me, he comes first. Sick, well, busy, bored, my son comes first. I push every day for my son. And if you cannot find a reason to push, find a reason to live. If you cannot find a reason to live, find a reason to enjoy life. Find a new experience, find a new state to travel to, find something different to step out of your comfort zone or your element. Find something and push. Find something and live. Because if you live your life in a bubble, you're not getting anywhere. If you find that you're always sheltered, you're not getting anywhere. Because being sheltered is, to me, it's like living in a shell or a bubble, I should say. You know, um, it's like always being sick and you can't go nowhere, or you have severe allergies and you're allergic to everything, so you stay in the house to stay away from everything. You'll never experience life if you do not get out and travel. You will not experience life if you do not cross that threshold of your front door and at least breathe the fresh air. Because people can tell you that, oh, you have this, you have that, or you're allergic to fresh cut grass. You've never been allergic or had a reaction a day in your life, but now you're all of a sudden allergic to fresh cut grass. Something, somewhere, has crossed you and gave you that allergy for you to have that allergy. But you have to find it, and you cannot find it if you shelter yourself in the house. You cannot find what's wrong if you stay to yourself. Sometimes, yes, that works, it does, but not all the time. You have to get out and experience life. You have to get out and enjoy life, because that's not achieving goals if you are sheltering yourself. That's not enjoying life if you are sheltering yourself. So, you know, one thing I want you to think about are, well, a few things, I'm gonna say, a few things I want you to think about are: one, what are the top three things that is holding me back? That's the first thing. Three things that is holding me back, whether it's from achieving goals, it's something holding you back from enjoying life, or something that's holding you back from family. Depends on your situation. Find three things that is holding you back. You do not have to tell nobody. You can write it down in your journal, and every day add to it. Every day find something new. Find three new things that is holding you back. And you will be impressed by how much you have not achieved because of that. Trust me, I've did it. I have. And I have a long list of things that I've held myself back from. You know, I've I've held myself back watching scary movies, and movies with planes crashing or freak accidents with trains and stuff. I've held myself back because of that. But I've watched my mom, I've watched my sisters, and some family or friends hop on a plane and go traveling state to state. They've been to places like Mexico, and I even have one sister currently in Rhode Island, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I I don't see myself taking long flights or long train rides. I barely like car rides, but that's something I'm willing to change. I am willing to change me for my family. I'm willing to change me for the experience, because again, life is about experience. And if you do not get out and live, what is your purpose? Why are you sheltering yourself for nothing? I am a big believer that if you speak it, you shall receive it. And if you speak that you want to travel, no matter what your situation is, it will happen. If you speak that you want to get out more, you'll notice the invitations flowing. Like, it might not be every day or every other day or every week, but you'll receive invitations to parties or trips or anything that you've been wanting to do. You'll get those invitations. You will. And nobody can tell you not to go but you. Nobody can tell you that that is a bad idea but you. You are the only one that can psych yourself out from achieving your goals. Only one. You can say, "Oh, I got invited to a cruise next month, and we're traveling from Atlanta to, who knows, Japan." And you're saving up the money to go, and you're paying your dues and everything. That's a goal, to stay consistent, and you drop the ball. You're being asked why, you don't have a reason. You just drop the ball. But You have a purpose. You have to know, because if you are just dropping the ball left and right, then you will not receive those phone calls to hang out. If you're dropping the ball left and right, you will not receive those invitations to hang out or to even go on trips, because it then shows that you are inconsistent. It shows that you are not serious, and it shows that you won't do anything but waste time and space. And nobody wants that, because that is, I'm going to say, not a good characteristic to have. You know, if you are always the unintentional, unworthy person, meaning you get invited to things and you back out for whatever your reason is. It could be legit, it may not be legit. If you're always backing out, you're inconsistent. You're inconsistent, I'm sorry. If you are always here 1 minute, unreachable the next minute, you are inconsistent. And with that comes, again, uninviting, miscommunication, and, it is heartbreaking. Very much so. It's very heartbreaking, because in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I have, family and friends that I can reach out to, but nobody's there when you reach out, because they feel as though you're a waste of time and you're a joke. So you have to set goals. You have to set boundaries with those goals, because if your goal is to buy land for you and your big family, and everybody has their own piece, that's a nice goal to have, you know. But if you are inconsistent with the family that you're thinking about inviting to this land, they're not going to want to go. They're not going to want to be around you, because your energy is off. You're not the same person you were 2 months ago when you first talked about this plan. A lot can change, and the more inconsistent things are, the harder life gets. The more changes you go through, the more challenges you have. And it's going to be tough, it's going to be a rocky road, but you have to stand your ground. You have to keep your best foot forward. It might get hard, you know, and it might be tedious, but you have to do what's best for you. You have to keep you in mind, and you have to also keep the ones that you hold close in mind. It's a give and take option, I will say, but at the same time, it's a 50-50 trade. If I stay consistent with my goals, then I will reach my mark. If I stay consistent with my fitness trainer, then I will reach my fitness goals. Whatever your goals are, you have to stay consistent with them, because the minute you are inconsistent, the minute things go downhill, the minute you misplace something, your world turns upside down. The minute something feels off, everything is over. And that goes for any and everybody, children included. The minute something is out of place for you, you feel off, the world has to end, until you find what you're looking for. I go through it every day between me and my toddler. We go at it like we're two grown adults fighting with each other, but it's a part of life. You have to take that step back, realize what's going on, get your barriers, and keep going. Do not give up on yourself or your goals. You have to stay consistent. You have to push yourself to stay consistent. Again, if you need to, and this is something that I just learned about, get sticky notes. Write your goals down, stick them somewhere where you can see them, either by yourself or whoever you want to know about your goals. Stick them somewhere where it's a mutual ground. Leave them there. Do not move them because it will throw you off. The minute you shift your focus from my goals to my wants, or you shift your mindset, I will say, from I need to focus on my goals to stubborn, I'm lazy, I will procrastinate on it, you will not reach your goals. You will drop the ball horribly and you will fail yourself. Nobody can tell you that you are wrong for how you set your goals because they are for you. Nobody can tell you what kind of goals to set because they are for you. Nobody can tell you when to end your goals. Again, they are for you. You can have a goal to last from now to 10 years. And that can be anything. You're not financially stable now, but in 10 years, you want to be financially stable enough to move your family. Or you're not financially stable now, but in 5 to 10 years, you want to buy your dream car. It's up to you and what you want to do because these are your goals. They are set for your time frame, and that's it. Nobody can tell you, oh, you should, you should make it for a year from now. Because again, a lot can happen in that time frame where you can lose your job or you can lose your house. Anything is bound to happen, and you have to start over from ground zero. Anything can happen to where you have to build yourself back up emotionally, physically, and mentally. It happens. Trust me. I know from experience. I was down for 2.5 months and I had to build myself back up. I did from point zero. I had to start over with the help of my family and my trainers. I had to start over. I had to relearn how to walk. I had to relearn how to talk. I had to start over. I didn't give up as much as I wanted to. There were days, definitely, there were days where I did not want to get out of bed because I didn't want to put in the work. But I had goals. I wanted to go home. I wanted to lay in my own bed and not the hospital. I had goals. I had goals I wanted to reach. I set them and I worked. I worked hard to get my goals achieved. And if you do not, again, I'm going to keep saying this. If you do not work for your goals, then what is your point of setting them? What is your point of even dreaming to set them? Because a goal is nothing but a dream that you have. A goal is nothing but a wish that you have. Oh, I wish I owned a business. And the business the minute you have that thought, things start falling into place. Oh, you see a storefront for sale, or somebody's offering, free classes for whatever your dream is. You'll start randomly seeing these things fall into place, and it's up to you to run with it or to let it go. And that's just to simply put it. You can either run with your goals and move forward, or you can drop them and leave them where they're at and move on without them. Move on to the next best thing that you may come across. For my cousin, Shania, for example, she wanted to be a photographer. She is thriving right now, very much. She is one of the best photographers I know at her age. She is chef's kiss. And why? Because she had goals, she had dreams. She did not let nobody stop her. She had her own life circumstances hit her, but she picked herself up and she got the business. She got to work. She started her business. You know, there are people like Rihanna. She had the dream of making music. She's making music. She also has a family, and she also has a makeup line. Dreams, goals. You have to push. You have to make it known to yourself that this is something serious that you want to do. You have to push. You you have to motivate you, and that's all you can do is motivate you. Because if you don't motivate yourself, then what are you here for? If you cannot push yourself, then what's the point? Thank you, Miss Chanel. If you are, if you cannot pick up from where you dropped off at, what is the point? Do not let your circumstances, your current circumstances, I'll say, you cannot let your current circumstances hold you back. You cannot let your current situation hold you back, because if you do, you will not achieve your goals. If you let what you're going through now hold you back and stop you from achieving those goals, it won't work. It won't. And you'll find yourself in a situation where, you are always doubting, you are always discredited. Um, it's always something wrong with you and why you cannot move forward. There is always going to be something wrong with your surroundings and why you cannot move forward. You have to push yourself, you have to motivate yourself to do better. You have to believe in you if nobody else does. And that is just that. Nobody can tell you what to do but you. Nobody can tell you how to live or breathe. You have to do what's best for you. And that's it. You have to push. You have to find a reason, a purpose, a why. You have to find your why. If you do not feel like living for yourself, find somebody else to live for. A friend, a child of yours, or a family member. You have to find a reason to push. You have to find a reason to everything. You have to find that reason to not give up, in a sense. And, if you are always doubting yourself, if you are always a naysayer, as I grew up being told, if you are always negative in life, you're only getting negative out of life. If you are always downing others or doubting others for the dreams and aspirations that they have in life, what made you give up on yourself to make others give up on themselves? And that's the greatest question ever. Why are you so negative to yourself and others? What happened? The minute you find out your why of why you're negative, life will be so much better, because that means you're harboring hurt. That means you're harboring hate and pain and heartache and heartbreak from your past, and you're pushing it onto others forcefully. You're pushing it on yourself instead of forgiving. You're pushing it out into the world in general, and you're teaching others hate. You're teaching others to be discouraging because of your own heartbreak. And that's not fair. You have to push. You have to push. You have to push. You have to find your reason to make it to tomorrow. And I know for most people that's a whole lot easier said than done, but it's true. You have to find your reason to make it to tomorrow. Because if you cannot make it past tonight, then you have already given up on yourself and your goals of being a better person or becoming a better person. If you have given up on yourself and have no plans on making it past tonight, you have given up on the ones that have believed in you from the go, even if they don't tell you. You have given up on everything. And that's not fair to you. That's not fair to the people that support you. And that's not fair to the ones that secretly hold you up. Because there's always somebody holding you down, I'll say. There's always somebody that is holding down your achievements, and you, egging you on and pushing you on. You know, there's always somebody that is telling you you can do it, even if you don't want to listen. They're telling you that you got this, you can do it. You know, sorry. There is somebody who believes in you even when you gave up on yourself. Again, I've been there. I wanted to just lay there and not work. I didn't want to work to walk again. I didn't want to work to talk again. I honestly hated my voice after I got sick. I did. And I was glad my voice was gone. But then I thought about it. Family came and talked to me. Friends would come and talk to me. And I couldn't talk back. So I had to push myself because there's it's one thing when you can have a listen but don't talk conversation, and you and your conversationist can agree to those terms. But there's something different when you're looking for advice after given your situation and you cannot receive it. That's a whole different ball game. It's one thing when you're like, look, I just need a vent session. I don't need the nagging. I don't need the I told you so. I just need a vent session. And you can get that. But it's something else when you're like, look, I need advice. I'll give you all the details you need. I need to know what's going on. And the person cannot physically answer back. I know. I've had it happen. I was looking for advice and I didn't get it because the person I was looking for advice from could not talk back to me. And it was hurtful. It hurts. It's one thing to have to deal with things like hospitalizations and deaths by yourself, but it's something different when you deal with those things and you have a circle to depend on. Your circle is everything. Your circle will push you and they will believe in you and your goals just as much as you do. So you have to push for you and whoever you have in your circle because they are your biggest cheerleaders. Your children, your friends, your family, your coworkers, whoever is in your circle. It can be a temporary circle, a permanent circle, whoever is in your circle. Depend on them to be there for you if nobody else will be. Depend on them to have your back if nobody else does because they are your biggest cheerleaders. And I cannot say this or stress this enough. But every day, even though I might not tell them, I might not, but every day I thank my circle. I thank my cheerleaders who have been there since day one and is still here. I thank my cheerleaders now publicly. I thank you guys for always having my back, being there, and being a listening ear when I feel like talking, and even pulling me out of my stubborn habits. Um, I thank you guys for believing in me just as much as I believe in myself now than I did before. I thank you. I thank you. And I thank you because without you guys, I would have given up. After I have relearned how to talk and relearned how to walk, I would have given up. And nobody wanted that. Not even me. I didn't want that after a while, but I made it work. And I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. So, again, thank you guys. I greatly appreciate it. And, I am open for any questions or comments or anything before we end tonight. Um, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek into what's for next week. Next week, we are having a special guest, and we will be talking about ships. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ships, as in friendships, relationships, family, everything. We will be talking about that next week with our special guest. So, you guys, if you are interested, you do not have to, but I will greatly appreciate it. We will be back next week. We will be holding on and we will be pushing each other to do better. Hi, Auntie. We will. We are a family. We push. And with that, I will see you guys next weekend.
Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content.